Welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about Maha Bandha. I've had some students come back from different yogic classes and talk about different techniques, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the Maha Bandha. And I've taught this before on other videos. I want to teach it again and show you the Maha Bandha and why I don't recommend it. Until you have at least 1 year of Om Japa in all 6 chakras under your belt. I'd even say, even better, 3 years Om Japa in all of the chakras under your belt. I've done that really core work. I can feel it and see it in my life. It has a transforming effect and I can notice it. Now maybe I can try some of this Maha Bandha, but now I don't need to because everything is already working perfectly. So this is why I don't recommend it, but I'm going to teach you the technique anyway because, well, it's a classic yogic move, and so you ought to know about it. And you ought to know the difference in philosophy behind a Maha Bandha and a Kriya Yoga. So let's get into it. So the Maha Bandha is very simple. It's not that complicated. We're just having this idea that with the muscles, we're going to pull the Kundalini, we're going to pull the energy up into the brain, which is where the Kriya Yogi wants to go as well. But we're going about it in a very, very different manner. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to squeeze the anus and I'm going to pull it upwards. I feel as if I'm pulling it upwards. So I'm not just pulling up the anus, I'm pulling up the sacral muscles as well, and I'm going to pull all that up, and then I'm going to transfer it to my gut and hold my gut. So I pull up the anus, pull up the sacral muscles, I pull up the gut, I'm pulling the gut up, I'm emptying my stomach and pulling it upwards into my chest, and I'm pulling everything up, and I can do all of that while my chin is down. And this is the neck lock. So now we got root lock, stomach lock, neck lock. Those are the 3 bandhas. Bandha means lock. So I'm doing those 3 locks together, right? I put my chin down, pull it tight, squeeze the anus, pull that upwards into the sacral muscles, pull the gut in and up, and now I'm pulling everything together. And then you can put your head backwards and feel as if you're pulling it all up into expansion, into the crown. So there you go. You have a Maha Bandha flow that you can try out when you're ready. And the philosophy behind this is that I have to get out and push this energy. I have to get out and push. It's not working by itself. It's not automatically doing what it's supposed to doing. So I am going to get out and push this darn car and get it going. And that's the philosophy, that's the attitude of the Bandha Yogi. The Kriya Yogi and the Om Japa on the other side say, well, why wasn't it going? What was stopping it? Why was it stuck in the mud? Well, the mud is the things that we have not cleaned out in the chakras just yet. So wouldn't it be better to clean all of that out and get it out of the way? And then what will happen is everything will just start going back towards the brain. You will automatically feel yourself in the upper nervous system. You will start to encounter loving kindness. You will start to encounter compassion and wisdom. You will start to encounter feelings of being free, feelings of, oh my God, thank God I'm up in my upper nervous system. I have relief, and I have joy from that relief, and I have peace, and I have bliss, and I have equanimity. Glorious, right? So you start to have all these feelings which are part of the upper nervous system and the deep brain. So you're starting to associate with that, right? And how did I get there? I got everything out of the way, right? I didn't have to push anything out of the mud. I cleared the mud. Okay, Forrest, that's great, but I don't have time for that. I gotta push this now. I gotta experience this now. I gotta have this Kundalini now. I have to have this consciousness rise right now. What's wrong with that? Well, when you push the car out of the mud, what happens to you and what happens to the car? You both get muddy. And now you're rolling down the street with a muddy car, right? Now you have to deal with all that mud right now. And it's all coming up to you all at once. And so you can see it every single time they have these kind of classes. People will do Maha Bandhas, they'll do these very strong Kriya type exercises, they'll do these Kundalini exercises, and suddenly all of their past, all of their trauma, all of their troubles, it all comes up in their face all together. And it's absolutely overwhelming. It's really an unkindness to do that to a person. These yogis don't really understand what they're doing, so I give them my compassion that they don't understand what they're doing to these people. But after you see it 100 times, you're going to start to question, what am I doing? And if that yogi doesn't question, what am I doing and why is this happening? I guess I can forgive that too, because they think, well, it's just part of the process. But really, it's kind of cruel, because there's such a better way, and that is clean it out, clean it out, clean it out. Those are the words of my guru, Ashokji, and they echo in my heart forever. Clean it out, just clean it right out. Over and over again. He told me that more than anything else. You would think he would be talking to me about energy and Kundalini and higher consciousness and Samadhi. No. A million times, clean it out, because that is the foundation. You clean it out, everything works perfectly. You don't clean it out, and you push yourself into one of these experiences. Oh God, I have all this Kundalini, it's wonderful. And then all the junk comes up, and now you're in trouble. In some Kriya lineages, they're still doing some Maha Bandha in their Maha Mudra. So while they're stretching, this is what Kriya thinks of Maha Bandha, by the way. While you're stretching, go ahead and do some Maha Bandha. But the Panchanan system dropped almost all of that because it causes so many problems for so many people that do not have 1, 2, or 3 years of Om Japa and all of the chakras under their belt. It is so important that we clean first. And I don't want you to be one of those yogis who is sorry they did some of these really strong Kundalini type Bandha exercises and all your old issues came up in your face. And that's why the Om Japa in the chakras is such a drumbeat on this channel, because it's so fundamental. So let me give you another way that you can pull, not push, but just pull the energy up towards the brain a little bit. So I just want an extra little pull. I did all my work. I did my Om Japa in the chakras. I'm in HRV resonance. I'm sitting here peacefully. I feel like maybe I could use a little bit of a pull towards the brain. How can I do that? Just hold the breath. Very, very, very simple. And it causes a very sublime and subtle version of a pull towards the brain. So we just breathe in. Hold the breath. Only hold the breath because you're in meditation. Just hold it for as long as is really comfortable. Then let it out, relax, and just allow yourself to recover from the breath hold. Then do it again. Breathe in, hold, and feel what it starts to do to you. Sometimes, very often, you will feel, oh my God, everything's coming up, just because you did a few very gentle breath holds. Very, very gentle. No strain. Here's another one, and it's going to break the freeze. But once you learn it, you can do it very subtly. So I'll give you both ways, okay? So first of all, I'm just going to put my chin down to my chest, and now I'm going to turn my head towards the left, and then all the way around, and then going to the left. So this is, if you're behind me, this is counterclockwise. And I'm not in a rush. just nice and slow. And just feel that big, nice circle which you are creating. And if you do that 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 times, it creates a little pole towards the brain. Okay? Wonderful little piece of a technique. Wonderful little piece. And once you have done that, so you can sit down sometime and just experiment with that. Nice and slow, always counterclockwise. You may say, oh, but I should balance it out and I should go the other way. Please don't do that. You'll be stimulating the wrong portion of your brain. And so only do it counterclockwise. Some yogis will tell you, oh yeah, you can do it the other direction. No, you can't. You will stimulate the wrong, you will be stimulating your left brain, which is already stimulated. You don't need that. So only to this direction, okay, which is counterclockwise, which means I'm starting leftward, okay? So wonderful technique. Feel what that feels like. And then when you're in a deep state, you're in your deep meditation and you have your HRV resonance, you've done your Om Japa, you're feeling nice and quiet, then just feel that rotation. See, I'm barely moving, right? And you can even do it less than what you see me doing right now, but just feel that rotation inside of yourself over and over and over again. And again, it's going to very subtly pull you up, very gently. There's no pushing here. Very nice, very gentle, very kind, very compassionate. That's the Kriya Yoga. Always cleaning out the way, always magnetizing the brain. Very, very subtle, very, very kind. No pushing, no pulling, no yanking, no gouging. Just very, very, very subtle. And that means sublime. And that's what we want. So now you know the Maha Bandha. You can try it a few times if you like. If somebody tells you about the Maha Bandha, you know exactly what they're talking about. And you can say, oh yeah, that's on the other side of the philosophy that I am using in yoga. And they will say, oh, what? I thought it was all the same. No, it's not. It's completely different philosophy. And now you know. So I hope you love this. If you did, be sure to hit that bell down below so I can see all of you next time.